What is up? Back again today with another reaction to another, this time with the final reaction. There will not be another reaction. Terrible. Terrible, I know. But there actually will be as well, I think, just because I'll be doing the special episode. No idea if that special is, I'm not sure if it's like fan service or if it's like a prequel, if it's related, if it's a sequel. Again, no idea. I know that it's called The Other, which I think is probably going to be talking about the imposter, if not maybe May's sister who died. Again, no real idea, but looking forward to seeing the finale today. Last episode was batshit crazy. I did also look up the issue I had with the old woman, and it's still an issue for me, don't get me wrong, because they didn't explain anything really during the episode about her, but I did look up some details, and turns out that she is the grandmother of one of the students that died, and she's just gone pure psycho, just started killing people, so I guess that makes sense, but again, nowhere. I don't think last episode was that explained. So many people died last episode, maybe more than in the entire series so far. So I'm expecting more, more ruckus today. Let me know what you guys think about this episode though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And let's get right into it. I think this is a slightly longer episode as well, 26 minutes long, just by a minute or so. But yeah, I'm not sure what May's going to do. We saw at the end of the episode she kind of left Koichi. I'm not sure if she's going to off herself. I'm not sure if it's got to the point of like maybe she does believe that she is the imposter, so she's just going to off herself and potentially get rid of the imposter, which would be her, or is she, or does she now know who the imposter is and is going to kill them? Not really sure. But yeah, a lot to wrap up in this last episode, isn't there? But I do think last episode, even though I had a few issues with it in terms of like the crazy woman that just randomly appeared, it was definitely one of the best episodes so far in terms of like a spectacle. But if I didn't mention already, do let me know what you guys think about this final episode in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I still don't really have any idea who the imposter is. Like, no idea. The guy that brought the tape to the girl with the glasses is a bit sus to me, but that's, yeah, I mean, it's still like, I'm still not even 50% sure about anyone. I'm not sure if there's been clues or hints throughout, but I certainly haven't picked them up. Oh, she is still alive, good. That was another kind of ridiculous moment. I thought she got one shot and killed from a mop. Oh shit. Oh my god. Something's just exploded and hit her in the back. Oh no, it was the woman. Well, I think 6 people just died in the first minute. Oh, I thought I was gonna say it almost got dragged up by his balls. Crazy lady. Oh, okay, he's here. I didn't. That's what he's got to say. This isn't normal. Excuse me. Any other genius lines you'd like to like? Oh, these guys didn't die. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Any. Oh. Jesus Christ! The start of this episode's been nuts. Yeah, not the most informative dialogue from that guy. This isn't normal. Has anything been normal in this show? Oh, Jesus Christ. Already, yeah, already a little bit of nut start. So who stabbed her friend? Who is this now? Oh, this guy's still alive? The guy that got chucked out the start of last episode. Yeah, the blondish guy thought he killed this guy, right? Well, if you actually did think that was the case, why would you ask him if he remembered her? No, yeah, logically, from what we know, it can't be him. Ah, he's going around killing people. So it's a bit of a shame because I kind of felt bad that this guy died, and now I kind of wish he did die. Just killed two innocent girls. Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, I did see a few comments on the last episode as well as this one. Well, I haven't seen any comments on this one, but I'm including this one. It very much does feel quite a bit like Higurashi. I think everyone very different, but in terms of like the violence, feels like in that same kind of manner. Oh, it would be hilarious if someone now sneaks up behind him. It'd be like, yeah, everybody starts sneaking up behind everyone. That'd be a hilarious scene. He then does it. Oh, and then they're like wild animals, aren't they? Like her right there. It was like a wild animal, like defending itself. She looked like she'll go back in the woods any second, start eating on plants and bugs and shit. I guess he can take solace in the fact that he didn't actually kill him now, though. Although inadvertently, like he said, his actions kind of made that blue-haired boy kill two innocent girls. So might actually be even worse that he didn't. As I said earlier, might be actually maybe he should have died then. It's not a massive fall, is it? Not a fall I expect anyone to die from unless they land wrong, like the girl with the crab last episode. So where the hell is Misaki May? Just chilling. Oh shit. That does not look very safe there. It looks like a very um shallow, would you say? Bit of wood. I feel like that's just gonna break any second. That they're standing on. Well, it's too late by then. Yeah. That looked like it was going to fall any second. Just head straight back up. Look at her. Is it her? Finally took the eye patch off. That was not though. Nice. Get on, Dale. Did that so faintly. Look out, Dale. Ooh. No, you failed pretty spectacularly, unfortunately. Oh shit. What is that? I mentioned a few episodes back the whole glass panel death from Final Destination, which again this series seems to. I think this series has been inspired quite a bit from fair few horror movies I've seen, and I think it is definitely like inspired as well. It's not just like not a coincidence. You can see on the Google search. I was trying to remember a segment in one of the VHS movies about it was like I thought it was like a church, but it ended up being I think it was in the second one. That is against the point there. There was another scene I remember. I can't remember what movie it's from, but I think it's like in a church where the what's it called again? Stained glass. The stained glass windows kind of. Is it one of the Exorcist movies? Might be, or one of the Omen movies. Again, I'm trying to remember. Scene in horror movie. Stained glass window death. Suspiria. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like the Suspiria wasn't the one I'm thinking about though. I'm thinking of one a bit more. I don't know. Huh. Stained glass window death horror movie. Maybe it was. I don't know. To be honest, I don't remember if it was from Suspiria. I mostly remember the kind of witch stuff from that movie. And it's been a long time since I watched it. Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I don't think I'll be able to find it either. So apologies. Yeah, most stuff. Weirdly, the most of the stuff I remember from that movie wasn't actually the kind of the deaths or anything like that. Again, it was more so the humanish elements, I guess, and the witch elements towards the end. You find out what's actually going on. Maybe it was Suspiria. I don't know. There's been so much stuff inspired by Suspiria that it's kind of hard. I mean, this situation certainly feels like it's a shame that all these guys are killing each other, but when you think about it in the way that guys would have all died anyway, so it's not that big a like travesty that they're all killing each other. It's horrible that they're doing it to each other in terms of their humanity. But yeah. You know what also reminds me a little bit? 13 Ghosts, the remake. There's a scene, slight spoiler here. There's a scene where someone, it's not glass, but there's, I guess it is kind of glass. It's like a revolving kind of door house thing, and someone gets cut right in half sideways from a glass door, and it's a fabulous shot. Yeah, that's a little bit of a disappointing way to go. Jesus Christ, this is like a Michael Bay set right here, isn't it? Is the number for the police in Japan 911 as well? Huh. I think that's the case in America, isn't it? In the UK here it's 999. What was she doing? Regret coming. So when did you find out who it was then? Pickaxe. This is like some My Bloody Valentine. Really? Has she known this before? Was it the teacher? So she's known this before all this kicked off? It was the teacher. I was thinking it could be. Oh wait. What? Oh shit. Huh. So it's annoying now because like you want to go back and rewatch it all and like see. Obviously, we didn't see this scene, um, but like there was a scene which I always speak back to, which I can't fully remember properly, but of Koichi on the phone to like his granddad or something, talking about some of his past, and his granddad was like, "Oh yeah, that happened," and perhaps that was again I can't remember what was exactly said there, but perhaps that was in he was saying that he obviously he remembered it a different way, and then it's almost like his memories were overwritten of like, oh yeah, that happened, which made me really sus of Koichi. But I guess that now makes sense because perhaps it was something to do with Reiko and her background as well, or it had like some impact on that. And then like the person he was on the phone with was overwritten in terms of like, oh yeah, no, actually it did happen this way because the extra person is now influencing it in that regard. Okay, and there might be more segments like that. Again, I did theorize it could be this teacher. I mentioned that last episode. I mentioned it in a few episodes, I think, actually, because he never really got too much of her. She never spoke to Koichi at all during school. And she was just genuinely sus. Like, don't get me wrong, like, she was not any of my like prime suspects or anything like that. But there was definitely a chance it could have been her. Although it does feel a little bit weird that it's not a student. It feels like it probably should have been a student, but it's not egregious or anything that it is her. I obviously had no fucking clue that that was. I was wondering who it was in this shot here. I was like, is that her? Is that the teacher? But it is the teacher. It's just that it's actually Koichi's sister, or fake sister in this case. Interesting. So that also takes me back to the segments with the crow. I guess that was a little hint, perhaps the fact that was it a crow or a parrot? I forget. It's been a little while since those early episodes. Apologies, guys. But yeah, the bird. There was some interesting kind of reactions from the bird, and if it was a crow, I think it was, but I could be totally wrong. If it was like a crow or a what's the other one? Magpie is, I can't remember, a crow or a magpie, I don't know. But yeah, they're usually like the harbingers of death. They have where there's crows, there's usually like death is the kind of thing, especially in horror movies and such. Recently, it's slightly besides the point, but I saw this tweet the other day that was hilarious about some guy that I think he ran over a crow, or again a raven. That's the one I'm looking for. A crow or a raven. I think it was a raven. He like ran over and killed, and then and apparently they've got really good memories, and that's obviously where the movie The Crow from Alfred Hitchcock came from, I imagine. Yeah, the crows that knew about the death then berated the guy for months. They would like show that they followed him back to his house, and and they terrorized him for ages. Apparently they've got really good memories and stuff like that, and hold grudges. So yeah, that's quite terrifying. Like I just said, I think that's probably where the inspiration for the Alfred Hitchcock movie came from. But yeah, the bird. It was probably a little hint at the fact it was her. I feel like this is slightly misleading though, because that probably sends attention more so the way towards Koichi. But that's the intention. You don't want it to be obvious that's her, of course. Okay, okay. Well, that surely was a big tell. I didn't know that. The fact that no other class has an assistant homeroom teacher. Ah, but that did make it really hard to figure out. Like, she's not your actual sister. Yeah, that did make this like, I wouldn't say it's impossible to figure this out without any of this knowledge, but yeah, obviously the prime suspects are always going to be the students. Yes, I understand the worry. What's going on here? Is that his sister? So I'm gonna assume that she forgot about that. Yeah, these birds, obviously they're not crows or ravens. But yeah, these birds is what I'm talking about. They're black birds. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like the details, especially on a second watch, are definitely there to tell you that massive suspect. But obviously, from you guys watching me, my first reactions, again, I didn't really question her an awful lot. I brought up the possibility that it could be her, but I never had much of a good reason to be honest. It just was a possibility. So was that his mum come back as a student? Oh no. No, I guess guess he just felt about his mum then as well. I don't know. There's a lot more than 8 people died overall, right? So yeah, this is what I found out last episode, which I guess is a slight spoiler now that it got revealed, but I'm glad I looked it up because I would have just been a little bit pissed off if I didn't. I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel like awfully fulfilled, if you know what I'm saying. I don't feel like, oh yeah, there were so many signs that I picked up on. Like again, I feel a bit like I say I feel played, but it feels a little bit like again I wouldn't say unearned, but it feels yeah, just doesn't feel as fulfilling as perhaps if it was like a student or someone that you actually like again properly suspected throughout. I'm not sure how to word it. Also, it just felt a bit like sudden, if you know what I'm saying. It's not. It's like it's not even a happy ending as well. Like it's kind of happy because these guys get to live. But it's like, oh, next year the same thing's gonna happen. That's the thing. It's like, how do you stop it in totality? It's a little bit like the problem I have with Smile 2, especially Smile 2, which a lot of people loved this year, which I didn't really like at all, to be honest with you. I liked the main actress in it. I thought she was fantastic. And it took an interesting route to start with, but everybody knew how the movie was going to go. But just in terms of movies like that, Truth or Dare, there's lots of these like uh, I guess The Ring could perhaps go in this segment as well. Not quite as egregious, but like curses and things that yes they're interesting, but it makes it less interesting the fact like with like a slasher like a Jason Voorhees or something. Um, there's like you can run, you can get away, you can survive, you can stop them. I mean, they'll always come back for a sequel just because, yeah, because they're horror movies and they make loads of sequels. But there's like the stuff you can do, whereas with like stuff like this, it just feels like I've mentioned this a few times about how they're going to kind of tell us about the curse and how it really works and like how to end it all. Like there is no kind of conclusion to the curse. It just is a curse that's just going to keep going on. We don't really get too much in terms of like why it's become a thing. Why is it still a thing? How is there any way to stop it? And yeah, like there's not too much surrounding that aspect, which I think is a good job from this show. To be honest with you, the fact that they didn't look too much into that aspect, because so many times again I bring it back to like Truth and Dare, they try and get to like the source of things, and then it just like and it's just like they get played and they all die anyway. I think that's my main issue. It's like it's again I love my horror and stuff, and I even like kind of like nihilistic endings. But some like even though it might people might find it cringe and like cliche that there's like happy endings, it's like there's got to be some possibility of a happy ending. Otherwise, you are just watching depravity and and all this for just the sake of like watching people suffer. And it's yeah, there's always got that's why like slashers and such have always got a really awesome heroine. They've always got a really awesome like screen queen that you root for. You root for the people to kind of survive and to end the situation. And we have here again. Don't get me wrong, these guys are going to survive, but like I said, it just feels kind of mean that next year it's just going to happen again. Like there's no way of helping out, even if we do leave something. The curse that we don't know how it really functions is going to try and like cover it up and so on. And these events are just going to happen again with loads of people dying. And it's actually very rare that anyone kind of does do as well as these guys. Not that they've done well, because so many people have died. Don't get me wrong, but they did mention it's very rare that anyone actually does ever find the imposter. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't feel resolved. It just feels like a temporary kind of resolution for our characters we've been following. But again, I just think of like in the next 20 years, how many people are going to die because of this? If you guys know, yeah, I feel like a lot of these kind of like viral kind of virus kind of curse virus kind of movies have the same thing of like, oh, we're just going to end on a horrible note, and things are just going to continue. People are still going to die, and it's just going to continue like that forever. Again, I think Smile was especially egregious to that. It's just like, oh, it's the first movie again with a different kind of lick of paint over top. I know I'm in the minority on that thought process, so yeah. That's just how I feel. Fuck. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. They're just going to forget this. Like the curse's influence is now going to influence them next year, so they're not going to be able to help the people that are dealing with this next year. If you know what I'm saying, like a lot of this stuff is just going to get erased, and it's just like it's not awfully fulfilling for that to be the case. again, don't get me wrong, people get mad at like perfect endings and like happy endings in horror movies and stuff, and I get it to an extent, but you've kind of got to have that to like again, if everything's just dark death and killing and morbidness, it's like, what's the point? There's got to be some like lessons or something learned or something gained or some new appreciation or something like that, like something positive. I say that, then again, some of like my favorite movies. I think Mandy's like a good example of like a really brutal movie that's just like it does just it is just brutality throughout, but it is still really good. Yeah, I think I was watching. Like I said, not the most fulfilling ending, but not egregious or anything. I wouldn't say it was bad, or I wouldn't say it was unwarranted or unearned. I think there were signs throughout, judging from the kind of flashback scenes and such we did get. I think they were more expanded upon in this episode, of course. I think more was said during those segments that they flashed back on. Like there was parts in this episode that they flashed back to that we didn't see. Like we saw like the first half of it, and then there was like another half of things being said that wasn't actually shown in the earlier episodes. That, of course, if they were shown, would probably probably give it away a bit too much. But still, I think it would be quite interesting to rewatch, just to see those kind of signs. But as I said, it just doesn't feel like we've accomplished much. Maybe the specials, like maybe the special comes like next year, and next year it's going to be May's sister, class or something. So yeah, I mentioned this. They're going to try and help, yet the curse is going to try and cover this shit up and try and make people not find it and make you guys forget about trying to help. So it's pointless. Like we didn't ever get to any root cause or anything. I'm like, not sure you can with like curses and stuff. Maybe that's just like a bit of a trope in terms of like what I've seen in media of like researching curses, seeing where they came from, and trying to like get rid of the source of the curse. Maybe it's the thing of like you can never get rid of this curse. If you can't ever get rid of this curse, the best thing to do would be to knock this fucking school down and make sure no one ever joins this class. and yeah, it's just like we didn't get any kind of like conclusion like that, which I would have liked. But yeah, decent episode. I especially enjoyed the first half. To be honest, the first half was awesome. Again, very much in the same vein as last episode, with a lot of brutality. And again, don't get me wrong, I like that stuff, but like I said, there's got to be some kind of like light, which you could take as everyone surviving, but as I said, no one's going to remember. So, did we even really ever go through this situation? Like next year will be a case of like, did this ever even happen? And it's like, oh, so it's kind of feels pointless. I mean, it's not pointless because it did happen, but it feels pointless because no one's going to remember. Yeah. But yeah, definitely has issues. As with most horror stuff, don't get me wrong. Horror is not like a perfect genre, but I think for the most part it was good. Really, really good last couple episodes. Again, in terms of the just the sheer craziness. To be honest with you, I thought it was an absolute blast. Really, really excited to, if I do rewatch, especially get to like these last couple episodes and just see this this mania go on. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Let me know if you guys are happy with who the killer is. Again, I'm alright. I think it is serviceable for sure. I did always say that she was a possibility. It's not, again, she's not ever someone I really suspected, but it was certainly a possibility that it was the teacher. Again, it feels a little bit weird that it wasn't a student, but yeah, it is what it is. Not like the most shocking kind of twist ever. It's not like it could have never been the teacher. But yeah, again, do let me know you guys thought in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with any of my reactions. Thank you guys for supporting the series as well. Again, really enjoyed it. I will still say there still hasn't been like a really awesome horror anime. And again, it's just so weird that the fact that there's awesome American movies, there's awesome Japanese horror movies, there's awesome Japanese horror live action series, there's awesome horror Japanese games. Like most of the best Japanese games, most of the best horror games are from Japan. A lot of the best games in general from Japan, but yeah, most of the best horror games ever made are from Japan. One thing I am certainly looking forward to that's coming out soon is apparently a Silent Hill. I think it's a game. It could be a movie. I kind of forget, to be honest with you. I think it's a movie actually. It's a Silent Hill movie that is being helped written by the author of the Higurashi series. So I'm actually super excited for that. So yeah, look forward. I won't be watching that on the channel or anything, but if you guys are massive horror fans, look forward to that. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. As I was just saying, I will be back with one more episode, which is the kind of special episode, the other. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys then. Again, thank you guys very much for the support, and have a good rest of your day.